Hey guys, this is CDJ. In this video I'm going to talk about size-up moves and also show more on the crossover move in case you didn't see the initial video on how to do that. They're very similar in how they work in terms of the controls, so this video will combine the two and show you how to use those with your great guards and point guards in the game. Again, this is in direct response to community members asking, what are some ways I can get to the lane more effectively, more efficiently? They're having some problems with turnovers. Anytime they drive in the lane, they get the ball stolen. Once you get the crossover and the size-up moves learned, you won't have that problem. Your problem will be, what do I do once I get to the lane? Here, to execute a size-up move, it's the same button as Turbo. R2 on PS3 and the right trigger on Xbox 360. As you see here, the point guard from Michigan State, I'm just simply holding it down, moving around a little bit. When I'm ready to make my move, I flick up on the left stick or right stick, depending on what move you want to use. And as you see there, he's able to get to the hoop and get a basket. Here again, the size-up move. That combination with crossover, it really depends on if you let go of the turbo, whether you are executing a size-up move or a crossover. If you stand at the top of the key and hold down R2 or right trigger, you'll see your point guard go into this size-up move. This basically puts you in a position where it's a player kind of showboating, doing strong dribbling, and then when you flick the proper stick after that, he'll execute the size-up move where he will try to attack, try to drive right by the defender. It's not as fancy as a crossover. I find the risk-reward is a little different than a crossover. I feel the reward is not as strong and the risk a little greater. So personally, I use the crossover much more. But the size-up move, I think if you get it down, it can be just as effective. But the crossover is still, for me personally, easier move. I prefer it a lot. It's just really nice when you blow past the defender and you have several feet of separation as compared to the size-up move. When you get by them, they're right there. Here we're going to see an example of the point guard again. I was talking earlier, your problem is going to be what you do in the lane. Here, I'm dribbling around using the size-up moves and the crossovers. I'm able to dribble through the lane a couple times. Ball never gets stolen, and I get the jumper. Again, if you hold on to that ball too long using your size-up move or crossovers, whatever, you're going to get stolen and have turnovers. So you have to be relatively quick in what you do. Here, I did a size-up move, able to drive ahead a few feet, get an open jumper. Missed it, but it was a pretty good shot. And the key thing in this game to remember, while a lot of people, and I agree, it's important to be able to drive to the lane and get open shots near the hoop, the big key overall is to find the open man no matter where he's at on the floor. If it's in the player's range, of course. That's the big thing this game rewards, is finding the open man. Alright, here's an example. You get some crossover, size up. Now, it didn't work, so I backed the ball out. You don't force anything in this game, obviously. The defense is pretty solid in this one. If you force something, you're going to have a turnover, you're going to have a bad shot. Here, I went to the crossover move, which if you didn't see the initial video, the crossover, I find it's easier to execute when you're going to the right side of the screen on the bottom side. You start going to the right of your right, the defender's left. Flick that right stick left. He'll do a crossover, and a lot of times, not necessarily the majority, but a lot of times he'll be able to get past that the defensive player and get to the basket. It will provide you opportunities such as you're seeing here. Get some open shots, drive to the lane for short-range shots. One thing you may want to do is maybe call isolations. If you're running into an issue where there's a lot of defenders, a lot of players around, call an isolation play. Here's a good example of trying to drive in with the crossover, size-up move. The defense collapses. Find the open man. That's the big thing. The game does reward you for having basketball strategy. If you run into a situation where there's 2, 3, 4 defenders on you, find that open guy. Because the game, I can't stress it enough, they reward you for finding that open player. There's a good example. Driving to the lane with the move and drawing a foul. If you're not getting a lot of fouls called, make sure you're driving the ball a little bit with the crossovers or the size-up moves. That starts as a size-up move. Flick up on the stick, drive to the hoop, draw a foul. There was a crossover, the defense stops it, so I kind of reset the play, start again, try crossover again, go from left to right this time with able to drive by and get the layup. We're going to watch this one in replay. Pretty chaotic, kind of I don't say a fluke play, but a pretty solid play that only the elite point guards in real life or even in the game can pull this off. As mentioned in the crossover video, in case you haven't seen it, one of the keys that a lot of people are having issues with is knowing when to hit that layup or dunk button, which happens to be square on the PS3 or X on Xbox 360 in conjunction with the right trigger. In the previous highlights, I like to hit it when I'm in the middle of the lane, because don't think of it as that you want to shoot the ball. Think of it more as I'm ready to gather the ball, to make 1 or 2 steps, and shoot that layup. Guys, this has been CDJ. Watch these videos, try it out, crossovers, and size-up moves.